Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. This is one of my favorite kind of shows. I got to tell you that up front because it is a little bit different in that I have three guests, but their areas of expertise are kind of secondary to the conversation. A lot of what I'm looking for from my guest today comes from in here. Two attorneys, Blaine Jones. I guess I have to say the obligatory, my favorite guest, Blaine Jones. Paul Jubis, my second favorite guest, and Dr. Kimberly Ellis, you are my favorite female guest. How about that?
I'll take it.
There you go. Welcome to you all. And the reason they are all here today is in large part because of stuff that I was feeling in here. So about this time last week, I felt like I didn't want to see the George Floyd video anymore. I just wanted to take a break. It was exhausting. It was weighing heavily on my head, on my heart. And then two other cases happened. And so I realized that I couldn't be the only one feeling that way. And I wanted to look at what this is doing to us collectively as a community. That's the conversation. So let me throw it out there to all three of you. Am I the only one who feels like this is just too much emotionally? The stress, the anger, the tense relationships, the death. Is it too much?
Yeah, of course. I think it's too much, but unfortunately, we're not in a position where we can say, the heck with this. We're going to clean our hands of it and move to the next room. But I do think that there's something to the possibility of two things. Number one, becoming desensitized to the pain and suffering of the people that we see that look like us. And number two, the burnout and or fatigue. And that scares me because like I've said for a long time, Lynn, when we have these types of cases, these cases aren't brand new. They've been going on since Black people have been in America. It's the brand new aspect is that it's being broadcast, to everyone because of video surveillance, because of body cam footage, so on and so forth. So it comes down to, is this a moment in time where we decide we're going to do something about it? Or is it truly a movement where we're going to say, you know what, let's come together and say enough is enough. Let's start putting together our financial means to make a difference. Let's start being more politically active. Let's start doing things besides just marching. I think if we can capture the moment and kind of put that fatigue to the side and instead use it to energize ourselves and form a strong political base, then we can do some positive things.
Paul, what do you think? I mean, there are advantages. We got cell phone video, we got body cam video. But does that make us less sensitive? Do we get fatigue from just seeing all that?
So, I wanted to pick up exactly where Blaine just left off because I think that he makes an extremely important point, especially for a place like this where we find ourselves. We're in Pittsburgh. We're watching the trial of a police officer. We're seeing police officers testifying against this police officer, and there are commentators saying, "Are we watching the blue wall of silence come crumbling down?" No, we are not. We are in Pittsburgh. We are, there's a George Floyd, and the George Floyd phenomenon happened because there was video. How we are in Pittsburgh, and Danielle Brown, no video. Jaylen Brown, Romeo Talley, no video. Mark Daniels, no video. We are in to get back to Blaine's point. It is time to organize. It is time to have intelligent discussions. It is time to hold our political candidates accountable. We have a district attorney that is covering up more homicides than he is obtaining high-profile convictions. So, Blaine, when was the last time there was a big-time conviction around, Allegheny County? But
I think part of the problem, Paul, is that some of us make it and we forget that we still are a part of the struggle. And I understand what you're saying, Lynn, about it's overwhelming. And when I first saw the George Floyd video, I shared with you, Lynn, very candidly that as a man, it hurt me. And I didn't even know how I was going to articulate this to my kids. And then just recently, I saw the video of the brother in Virginia at the gas station. And I was with my wife and my daughters. My son wasn't with us. And I remember thinking to myself before I showed my daughters, am I doing more harm than good in showing them this video? I showed it to them anyway because I want my kids to be aware that there's a fight out there that they have to take part in. But it got to the point where I thought to myself, here we go again, like you said, Lynn. And is it crushing their spirit as young African-American girls, thinking that this is what the oppressive America can look like for people that look like us.
All right, Dr. Ellis, there you go. The door is open. Come on in.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the prevalence of all of this cell phone video and all of this body cam video, which in our minds was always meant to serve as proof, right? If people could just see it, right? And then we got to the point where we're being asked to believe our lying eyes. And so now even video, which is something that we experienced with the Rodney King beating, right? We were like, got it, boom, it's right there, it's right there. And then we slowly watched the defense, break down each hit. Did they really hit him? Was it really this? Did he really? And so it's shameful, and yes, this is hurtful. I do still, like Blaine said, we have to bear witness. You can't turn away because these are our people and they're human beings. And so we can't turn away and we can't be too tired, but I definitely have managed, I don't need to see it on a constant loop. If I see it one or two times, I'm good. I think that there's something about the constant loop, the 24/7 cable news, I think that that's very debilitating. And there's actually a study out about that. It's actually an old study and I actually forgot, but it basically, I'll try to find it on the break, but the scholar just outlines how the consistent portrayal of Black bodies and especially like dead male Black bodies has a very debilitating effect on everybody. And so, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. The George Floyd, the Derek Chauvin trial is a lot. And I haven't been watching it every day, but I do pick up the clips and I watch the video clips, and that's all I can really take. And I just have to point out two people, like the witness who was the main talker, who was calling the police all types of names and saying get off of him and things like that.
Oh, the guy on the street.
Yeah, I think everybody should watch his testimony. I think that the way in which this Black man processed his own PTSD, his own post-traumatic stress disorder, I want everybody to see it, because he didn't look like he was about to cry. He didn't look like he was stressed out. He didn't look like he was getting ready to break down, but you saw him in the retelling of watching another man die, that it did hurt him and that it did wound him. And I think about him and I think about the 9-year-old girl. They have not left my memory since I saw them. So yeah, it's important for us to bear witness nonetheless.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm carrying all this again. We're going to take a commercial break. I'll take a deep breath. We'll be back. We have a lot more to talk about, so don't go away.